Some say Chinese is one of the most difficult languages in the world, and learning it is almost impossible.
So learning Chinese, the most difficult thing.
非常非常非常非常非常难
So I'm sort of tone deaf. I can't really hear them.
I think the cultural mindset is the biggest complication for
The
us.
grammar.
知吃思诗都还难
It's just complicated. So much.
Only because you're not learning it in the right way. Why not try Takeaway Chinese, where you can take some Chinese away and experience progress day by day. Takeaway Chinese, we will promise you a difference.
你好，欢迎收听随行汉语 Welcome to Takeaway Chinese. I'm Nian Honglin, and joining me today, Georgia Massad. Hello, Georgia.
Hello everyone, it's always so nice to be here.
Great to have you here. So, you are in Paris. Super jealous. Do you know why I'm super jealous?
Why?
Because you will be able to see the Olympics with your very own naked eyes. Super jealous. It's a really good time to be in Paris in 2024.
Actually, yes, and I think that France in general hasn't hosted the Olympics since 100 years. So it's an event and it's something we feel in the air. Everybody's talking about it. So I'm really excited.
Yes, I'm really excited as well. And I know I cannot be there in person like you are, but definitely I will be appreciating a lot of fun games and watching a lot of new sports. And I have to admit, I am not a, expert when it comes to sports, but it's always fun to watch. And the faster, higher, stronger together kind of slogan is the kind of slogan that I really appreciate as well. So yes, being able to appreciate Paris Olympics is something that we all look forward to this summer.
Oh, absolutely. I think it has a lot of cons and a lot of pros. Prices are getting higher for everyone. And, well, the city is very busy. There are so many people, but at the same time, it's very, very exciting. I'm not a sports fan as well, but since it's so close, I'm trying to keeping updated. And I love when it comes to swimming to follow the Olympics and how's it going and everything, even though I'm no swimmer, but it's really fun and so interesting.
Yes. And do you know how to say Olympic in Chinese?
Olympic, 几会, 运会.
Actually, Olympic is 奥林匹克. It's a trick question.
Really?
Yes.
Olympic.
Yes, it's precisely 奥林匹克. And yes, it's the transliteration. So 奥林匹克 for Olympic.
奥林匹克.
Yes, I love situations like this. For example, chocolate, 巧克力, or
巧克力,
hamburger, 汉堡, right?
Yes, and Harry Potter. I know that you also transliterate it.
Yeah, because it's a name. But for these actual items, it's just fun for both Chinese and English speakers. Yes, so 奥林匹克 and 运动.
运动.
运动 is sports.
Yes.
And 会 is meeting.
Meeting. 奥林匹克运动会.
Yes, so it's a sports meeting. So 运动会 is like the games. And we shorten it into 奥运会.
奥运会.
Yes, that's the shortened form, 奥运会. So hopefully today we can provide you with kind of like a guideline, kind of like a little bit background information about this year's Olympics in Paris. So for our dear listeners, if you're interested in Chinese culture and you want to get a grip on the Chinese language around the theme of Olympics, then this is the show for you. Stick with us for 30 minutes and you soon see the rewards. And for more fun Chinese learning, follow our Facebook page, Learn Chinese, to watch many fun videos and live streams. But now, let's provide you with some free Chinese for takeaway.
这次的奥运会开幕式简直太棒了，让我对接下来的比赛更加期待了。
是啊，话说回来，你有没有特别关注的比赛项目？
当然有，我最期待的就是霹雳舞比赛了。这次可是霹雳舞首次亮相奥运会，
让我们共同为运动员们加油助威吧。
This is a long conversation actually, but it's very probable it will happen and there are some very useful expressions.
Oh yes, I can't wait.
Yes, so for the first sentence, 这次奥运会的开幕式简直太棒了。
The opening ceremony of the Olympics was simply amazing.
So 这次
this time.
奥 运会。
奥运会 Olympic Games.
Olympic Games. We talked about this already. So 奥林匹克运动 sports 会 meeting sports meeting 奥运会 the Olympic Games.
奥运会
开幕式
opening ceremony.
Opening ceremony. So 开幕 means to open the curtain. Literally, 开 means to open. 幕 is the curtain. So 开幕式 is the opening ceremony. 是开幕式. Do you know how to say the closing ceremony?
No.
闭幕式.
Okay, so it's the exact same pattern with B.
Yes, and 闭关闭 closing.
闭幕式
简直
simply
really is 太棒了.
So amazing, terrific.
So we know 太 is just two. 棒 is good. So 太棒了. It's really terrific.
太棒.
Yes.
This is something we will for sure say. The opening ceremony are amazing.
Yeah, I look forward to it because I know that for this year, Paris has prepared the opening ceremony as well as a lot of different ways to utilize the existing venues and existing historical buildings as part of the ceremony and as part of the venues. It's a very eco-friendly way, and it's a way featuring the cities as well as the country's culture and history quite so well. So very much looking forward to it.
Oh, me too. And the singer that will sing is so good. Everything will be amazing.
Yes. And then, 让我对接下来的比赛更加期待了.
It made me even more excited for the upcoming events.
Yes. So, 让我
it made me.
对
towards.
Yes. 接下来
the upcoming.
The upcoming. So 接 means to follow something up. And 下来is like continue. So I always say this, 我上面的话, what I have said earlier or what I've said above, it's kind of like when you are viewing a timeline as a real line in your life, and the things up front would be the things that have already happened, and the things downwards in the downstream of it would be the things that will happen in the future. So 接下来 upcoming. So it has the word 下 down or later or below kind of feeling in it. Once you view your timeline as a real line in front of your eyes, understand the logic behind it. So 接下来 forward, upcoming. Yes. 比赛
the games.
The games or the competitions or the races, these are all 比赛. So 比 carries the meaning of compare, and 赛 is a race. So 比赛, race or competition.
Oh yes, the competition is inside the word.
Yes. And 更加
even more.
Even more. 期待
to look forward to.
To look forward to. 期待 So 我很期待明天见面.
I'm really looking forward to tomorrow's meeting.
Exactly. So that's 期待. And then 是啊，话说回来，你有没有特别关注的比赛项目？
Speaking of which, is there any specific event you're particularly interested in?
Yes. So 是啊
yes.
话说回来
Since we're speaking of this.
Yes, this is very interesting because in Chinese, we know 话 is the things that we are actually speaking right now, the things we're saying. 说 is to say it. 回来 is coming back. So it's like saying coming back to the subject that we've just discussed, or coming back to a previous subject that we have discussed already. It's like stepping a little backwards, stepping back a little bit.
Okay, so coming back to
the subject. So 话说回来. Sometimes it can also be speaking of which.
Speaking of which.
你有没有?
Is there something?
Yes, precisely that. We know 有 can be translated as there is. 没有, there is not. So there is or is not. Is there anything? So that's a affirmative and a negative question pattern that you can use in the Chinese language. Not only can we say 有没有, for example, 你有没有孩子?
Do you have children?
Do you have children? You have or have no children. So do you have children? 他有没有上过学?
Has he been or not to college?
Yes, so that's 有没有. You can also say 吃不吃饭. I always use eating as an example, but 你吃不吃饭?
Do you want to eat or not?
Exactly. So the idea is that you use this verb plus the negative form of the verb to ask a question about the verb.
Okay, makes sense. It wouldn't make sense in other languages, but I understand.
Yes. So 你有没有特别
特别 especially
Especially, very specifically, yes. 关注
关注 to pay close attention.
To pay close attention to. 关心注意. So 关心 is like take care of or care about. 注意 is like having your eyes on, pay attention to. 关注 together, pay attention to. So both the characters mean to pay attention to.
Pay close attention, yes. Good.
比赛项目
比赛 any event, sports event or competition event.
Competition event, precisely. So we know 比赛 is competition or race, and 项目 is item or any kind of sports. And the thing is, we know in Olympics, there are different sports, different events, and different items. In Chinese, we always say that different 项目, different 大项, 小项, 分项. So 大项 is like big events, 小项, small events, 分项, subject events or categorized events. But I don't think it's that important for someone whose Chinese is not that good to be able to separate these things. And actually, I think it's kind of like sports Chinese that we're talking about. And if your Chinese is really up at that level, you can try to find the right Chinese words for sports, events, and items.
I will stick with 项目 for the moment.
Yes, you can do that too. 当然有.
当然有. Of course I do.
Of course I do. I have something that I look forward to. 我最期待的就是霹雳舞比赛了。这次可是霹雳舞首次亮相奥运会。
I am most looking forward to the breakdancing competition. It's the debut of breakdancing at the Olympics this time.
Yes, so we know 期待 is look forward to, so 我最期待。
What I'm looking forward the most?
The most 就是
It is?
霹雳舞。
霹雳舞 breakdance.
Breakdance. So 霹雳 carries the meaning of something happening really fast, really striking, really shocking in a at least neutral way, if not completely good way. So 霹雳 and 舞 we know is a type of dance. So breaking, you can kind of imagine breaking being the kind of dance type that is very fast, very decisive, and it's beautiful, but it's powerful.
Oh yes, absolutely.
And that is breaking in Chinese, 霹雳舞。
霹雳舞。
比赛 is competition, we know that. And 这次可是
This time, especially, it is.
It is, but it's like saying it really is. It specifically is. It's trying to use the 可 to describe the 是 to basically strengthen the tone. So
可是
yes, 这次可是霹雳舞 breaking 首次。
首次 to make a debut.
Yes, so first time actually is 首次。首次亮相 would be make a debut because 首次 we know
first
is
time.
Yes, it's first time. And 亮相
亮相 is it together to make a debut?
Yes, and also 亮相 is kind of like to make appearance, to show in some occasion. So 亮 we know is bright or to open it to. And 相 is a little bit like your face. So you're showcasing your face in a official and a very serious matter for the first time, then it's debut.
Oh, okay. So you're showcasing for the first time.
Yes. So 首次亮相奥运会。
首次亮相奥运会。
Yes, so it's like a debut at the Olympics. 让我们共同为运动员们加油助威吧。
Let's cheer together the athletes.
Yes, so 让我们共同为运动员们加油助威吧。Here we have 让。
让 let us.
Let us do something, yes. 我们
us.
共同
共同 together.
Together, both 共 and 同 carries the meaning of together, and 共同 together means together. I said a lot of together in this sentence. 为
Wait, towards?
Towards, or kind of like for, kind of like towards. This way somebody do something structure is also very, very popular in the Chinese language. We see it quite a lot. And you can use it in a lot of different occasions. For example, I can say 我们都为你高兴.
We are all very happy for you.
Yes, and 我们 is we, 都 all, 为你高兴, happy for you, to you. Happy. The happy feeling is towards you. It's because of you. That's basically what the sentence is saying. Or I can say, for example, 谁为我考虑过?
Who has ever considered me?
Yeah, so 谁
So pay
who,
attention to me.
为我 towards me or for me or doing this thing. Taking me into consideration, and that's 考虑过. So that's that. You can also say, for example, you guys can come to cheer us on. How to say that in Chinese?
你们可以来为我们加油.
Perfect. So 你们 you 可以 can 来 come. 加油 is like cheering someone up, giving someone a cheer up, to shout out, to support someone. That's 加油 为我们 for us or to us.
Can I ask you a question? What is the difference here between wei and gay? Could I both use them, or is there a rule?
Well, I think that is a really good question. And in most occasions, you can use them interchangeably. For example, you can say, 请为我写句话. Please write down some sentences or one sentence for me. 请给我写句话. Please write down a sentence for me. In this occasion, it is used interchangeably, but I feel like when you're using 为, you are concentrating a little more on the for me kind of connotation. And also, 为我 is a little more official. It's a little more written Chinese instead of everyday Chinese. And for example, if you say, 你为我想想, can you think on behalf of me? In this situation, I feel like I am not being treated fairly and I want you to think on behalf of me, for me. Then I'll say, 你为我想想. But if I say, 你给我想想, it's kind of like saying, I want you to think about it. It does not really matter what you're thinking about. It's more like, I want you to do this. It's like you're doing this for me, but you're not doing this for me. It's like you're doing this. And because I'm asking, I say, you're doing this for me. You have to think about yourself, but don't consider it thinking about yourself for you. It's you're thinking about yourself for me because I care. It's kind of like that. Am I explaining this?
Yes. I understand. It's more subtle. It's been put yourself in my clothes, but it wouldn't make the same sense.
Yeah, so it's an interesting difference. It's a very, the nuances is something that you have to definitely understand the language to a certain level to be able to tell.
Of course.
So that's the difference between wei and gay. Hopefully I've given you a little bit of explanation at least.
Yeah, it's much clearer.
Great. And here, 为运动员们加油助威. So it's for the 运动员们.
运动员们, the athletes.
The athletes, we talked about 运动 being a sport, and 员 is changing or transforming the verb or noun into a person. So we know 运动员 is like the people who are doing the sports, hence the athletes. 服务员, the server. So 服务 is the service, and the people providing the service would be the server, 服务员. 图书管理员, so 图书 is book. 管理 is managing, so the librarian, because you're managing the books, you're the person who is managing the books. 图书管理员, so that's how you use 员. And here, 运动员, athletes.
运动员.
And 加油助威.
加油助威, to cheer on.
To cheer on. We know 加油 is add oil. I don't know if you English speakers already know this, but in Chinese we say 加油 a lot. So add oil.
Oh, yes. I heard it so many times, but I don't remember where.
Yes, you can use it everywhere, not only on sports arenas, but also in everyday life. If you want someone to keep up the good work, continue doing what you're doing, and even better, you want to say to them, 加油,你可以的.
Oh, you can do it?
You can do it. So 加油 is really popular. And 助威.
助威, to cheer.
Actually, 助 is like to give more to help someone. 威 is a little bit like the strength, the power, the attitude, the state. The really good state that you have to be prepared for or you have to work towards.
Okay, so we are coming prepared to cheer.
Yes, and the whole word 加油助威 is like saying cheer them on to put them in the best state so they can perform.
Okay, 加油助威.
Yes, so that is the conversation. And actually, one thing to note is that 加油 is used quite often in our daily conversations. Yet, 加油助威 is almost always used to cheer someone in a sports or in a competition.
Okay, so I can't use it on, for example, for studies or other occasions.
So that is it.
Perfect.
Do you have any other questions?
Oh no, you clear all my doubts.
Great, then let's give it a go. 这次奥运会的开幕式简直太棒了，让我对接下来的比赛更加期待了。
是啊，话说回来，你有没有特别关注的比赛项目？
当然有，我最期待的就是霹雳舞比赛了。这次可是霹雳舞首次亮相奥运会。
让我们共同为运动员们加油助威吧。
Great! You're listening to Takeaway Chinese with myself, Niu Honglin, and Georgia. We would love to hear from you. Send us your thoughts via email to learnchinese@cri.com.cn. Coming up next, let's talk about some exciting sports featured in the Olympics. Don't go away, so you will take some Chinese away. Welcome back to Takeaway Chinese. I'm Niu Honglin, joined by Georgia Massette. So, Georgia, I want to ask you this because I didn't know about it before, but do you know how are sport events chosen for the Olympics?
Actually, not, and I've always been very curious about it and how certain sports get selected and others just drop out or are not popular anymore. And it's something that there's this question that's always buzzing in my mind.
Well, actually, the Olympic Games have expanded from 241 to more than 10,000 competitors since the original re-establishment in Athens with the 1896 Games. Dozens of additions and changes have been made in the Olympic program since 1896, with almost 100 events being added since the 1980 alone. So, the first step in the process of becoming an Olympic sport is recognition as a sport from the International Olympic Committee. So, we say 奥委会.
奥委会.
So 奥林匹克委员会. Once a sport is recognized, it then moves to International Sports Federation status. To become a part of the games, the Sports IF, International Sports Federation, must apply for admittance by filling a petition establishing its criteria of eligibility to the IOC. The IOC may then admit an activity into the Olympic program in one of three different ways: as a sport, as a discipline, which is a branch of the sport, we say 分项, remember, or as an event, which is a 小项, a competition within a discipline. So yes, it's a very complicated process. It's not easy, which makes the adding of breaking dance, 霹雳舞, and also some other fun sports into this year's Olympics quite eye-catching and exciting.
Well, this looks like a very complicated, I think it takes several months for a sport to get recognized, seeing all the, yes, but it's very exciting. And I'm also sad that some are being dropped by and not followed anymore. But still, new ones are coming, and it's very interesting to see. For example, 霹雳舞, I think I will follow it very closely.
Yes, actually, the Paris Games will include one men's and one women's event where 16 breaking boys and 16 breaking girls will go face to face in spectacular solo battles, according to the official Olympics website.
Yes, I just can't wait. I think I grew up watching breakdance movies, and seeing them in real life and as a part of a Olympic discipline will be the dream.
Yes, and actually there are some more new sports coming to the Paris 2024 Olympic Games, not just breaking. For example, we also know that surfing is becoming a new added item for the Olympic Games this year. Do you surf?
Oh, I actually don't. I think I don't have the skills to do this. Do you?
No, I don't swim. I don't know how to swim, so I don't know how to surf, but I'd like to try. And I also like to try sport climbing or just climbing.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes, this is also a very exciting new sport. By saying new, I don't mean new this year, but relatively new to the Olympics. So we say 运动攀岩, that's sport climbing.
运动攀岩.
So, how about you? Is there any other fun sport that you particularly look forward to?
I don't know why. I particularly enjoy everything that is water sports. I really like to watch, not to do, but swimming. So the 100 meters, but especially the new sport is this year is featuring, which is kayak cross.
Ooh,
And it's
yes.
something that I've only done once, and it seemed very complicated. But I know that Olympic canoeing has two forms of competition, and they will have them in Paris, so sprint and slalom. And they will in Paris it will be slalom in Paris, so racers will have to compete over an artificial whitewater course, and at the same time navigating through obstacles, which will be very complicated, and it's something that when I tried I absolutely didn't do the right time. And kayak will be kayak cross, so that involves racing, and instead of only competing against time, which is something I think that it usually happens, but athletes will also have to race against each other. So we will be very, I think, short in time for 45 seconds, but at the same time, so many things will happen.
Yes, and maybe you don't know this just yet, maybe you do, but I have to say it, that is Dragon Boat racing is going to be demonstrated in this year's, yes, super exciting. And we
That's
say,
so exciting.
right, 龙舟赛. So 龙舟赛.
龙舟赛.
Yes, precisely. Dragon boat racing has been popular in China for hundreds of years. It is really close to kayak and canoe in a way. Well, for an outsider's eyes, because I think people sitting in the really long 龙舟, the long dragon boat, and they row their boats. And it's a very competitive sport, and they can be really, really fast. And being able to be a demonstrating sport in the Paris Olympics definitely is a milestone for 龙舟 enthusiasts.
Oh, absolutely. I think it's kayak but cooler, and everybody will agree with me.
I'm very glad to see, and maybe we can see the dragon boat head. That is the 龙舟的头. So the dragon boat head can be spectacular. It's very beautiful, and it is something that we can definitely appreciate outside or in addition to the sport itself.
Absolutely. I actually can't wait. I'm really excited for the Olympics.
Yes. So for those of you who enjoy this episode and who are as excited as we are when it comes to appreciating and watching this year's Olympics, please let us know what is your favorite sport. Which team or which country would you support? I would assume that people support their own countries mostly, but which are the athletes that you look forward to the most? And let us know, basically, how would you appreciate the upcoming Olympics?
Yes, I'm very curious to know how everybody is following and what are their favorite sports. I'm very curious about it.
Yes. And that brings us to the end of today's Takeaway Chinese. I'm Niu Honglin with Georgia for today's episode. For more fun episodes of the show, you can visit our website at radio.cgtn.com and go to the column podcast. You can find our podcast in any of your favorite podcast platforms. Just search for Takeaway Chinese. Don't forget to leave your questions, comments, and a 5-star rating. 感谢收听，我们下次再见。
Goodbye, everyone. 再见。